This is our fourth session on the Liberating Cinema film series for 2022. I'm very grateful that we have our next masterclass with Fabrice Aragno, who's a really wonderful and visionary cinematographer, director, producer. And I'm really honored that we can have him speak with us tonight. I will start by saying just a little bit about Fabrice, and then of course he will speak and say better than me. But I'm very honored that we have him today. Fabrice, as you know, is a pioneer of 3D technology and one of the great really cinematographers on the late films of Jean-Luc Godard, and also on the film Goodbye Robinson, which looks at this relationship most recently between Godard and the giant of Iranian cinema, Ibrahim Golestan. Fabrice Aragno was born in Neuchâtel in 1970, studied directing at the École Cantonale d'Art de Lausanne. In 1999, his short film Dimanche was shown at the International Film Festival in Cannes. And since 2002, he's been working with Jean-Luc Godard, first as assistant director for Notre Musique, and then as cinematographer for film Socialism, and later as cinematographer, sound engineer, editor, and colorist for The Three Disasters, Goodbye to Language, and The Image Book. The National Society of Film Critics nominated Aragno in the Best Cinematography category for Goodbye to Language. He also edited and co-produced the films Amor, Carne and Sangue, directed by Pippo Del Bono, and directed Freddy Bausch Le Cinema, 2012. In 2021, he curated the Swiss contribution to the Venice Biennale Architettura and served as a cinematographer for Mitra Farahani's documentary film See You Friday, Robinson. And as I said, that captures the correspondence between Godard and the 100-year-old giant of Iranian cinema, Ibrahim Golestan. So I'm very grateful we have Fabrice, and it's great to be able to speak to him. And of course, he's done his own, directed his own films, which I think will be nice also to hear about. But first and foremost, I named tonight's talk The Art of Cinematography because I'm really interested to hear both about your experience, Fabrice, and your wonderful expertise in terms of cinematography and also your practice. So I'm really honored that you agreed to participate, and thank you.
Yeah, oh, thank you for all these nice words. It's strange for me because the other day I was someone asked me to write an article about my experience with Godard for a Japan magazine, and I thought, but no, I cannot write. But I was thinking about, because I'm not a writer, I'm not a journalist, I'm not. So I said, I cannot write, and then I think about it, and I say maybe it's like the same thing as making images or sound. As I'm not a cinematographer, I can make images. As I'm not a sound engineer, I can make sound. As I'm not writer, I can write, because without being this under this name of I don't know, of rules or what, I'm free. So so you say cinematography, but I'm not at all the art of photography. I just had in my hand some camera, and the only key is that I'm not afraid with the techniques. So I can handle a camera or a microphone or a mixing table or a color correction, everything in the cinema or everything everywhere. But I will not define myself as a cinematographer. But in French we say, in fact, the only diploma that I have is réalisateur, filmmaker, it's in English, or a director. But réalisateur in French is interesting. It means making real, the one who make real, réalisateur. So I can be réalisateur of the image, I can be réalisateur of the sound, I can be réalisateur of the organization of a set, or organization of the idea of to be creating always. Then just a part or all the film, but I'm just a filmmaker, and but it's strange because it's well, I make photography from my childhood, so I went into cinema because for me it is still a way of expressing things without words, with images, with sound, with editing, with change of rhythm, which is cinema is more near than, for me, is more near than near of the paintings and literature. It's more near the choreographic, than the theater for me, for this. So for me, images, it's like normal, thinking in images when you think about a film. Well, and at the beginning, I began to work with Jean-Luc making other thing, and then he asked me for the second film we were working on to make some tests on a video camera. And I am always a little guilty about maybe I don't have to do this because I'm not the one who can do it because I'm not cinematographer, I'm nothing. So, but when he asked me, can you maybe test this small camera that he just brought? I tried to make my best as a cinematographer. So I make tests with this camera, and after some moments, I discovered that this camera had no quality at all. And as I had a wood head. I don't know if it's an expression in English. It means that I don't change my mind I want to go until the end. Then I try something else with this camera. So I try to go where it's not been made for. For example, to change all the settings, the few settings that this small GVC camera had, lowering the frame rate, pushing up the gain, all this, and making some strange images. It was not anymore high definition. It was like paint. I don't know what, but it was like. Well, and then I present this to Jean-Luc, saying, "But this camera has no quality, but only his defects have some qualities. The defects are more interesting than the quality." But it was not an idea to say something like, I want to say something very provocative, to provoke, I don't know what. No, I just say like that because indeed it was more interesting, this kind of color in the defect than the quality. That was nothing. And this make a good light in the eyes of Jean-Luc. He say, do you want to do the camera for the film? And I say, yes, why not? But in the same movement. But maybe I will share you because he just writes with the beginning of high definition. You know, in 2008, 9, it was the beginning of everyone. Every mark wanted to sell you a new TV with HD ready. All this, the high definition become the new standard. And Jean-Luc make a statement by hand, and I will just show you. So it's right, à propos de haute définition, it means speaking about high definition. And he just take a little piece of a newspaper where it was right. Qu'est-ce que la haute définition ou HD? What is high definition or HD? Then it speak about the DVDs and the standard definition in the DVD, and it's right here, and make it red. Plus la résolution d'une image est élevée, plus sa qualité et son niveau de détail sont grands. More the resolution of an image is high, most the quality and his level of details are high. So more the definition is high, more the quality is high. And then he writes, then is this high painter, high painting, high French painting, and impressionism? Is it low quality painting, low painting, basse peinture française, low painting, low French painting, because there is no definition in impressionism. There is no quality, and in the painting of Napoleon era, where it was very peinture pompier, we say in French, where it's very detailed. So it makes this opposition, and then he writes all what is high: haute autorité, haute fidélité, hautes études au commissariat, high authority, high fidelity, high study, high police commissariat, High Commando, also German Nazi in, army. Le très haut, votre Altesse. He makes this interesting comparison between that Monet or Manet is a low quality painting because there is no definition. So it's interesting to think to this kind of what is quality. And what is quality, and to be free, to just don't be under the law of all the one who wants to sell you the best camera, the new 4-key, 8-key, the new gamma, or all this. It's always good to always think about this comparison between painting, impressionism, and that is impressionism a low quality painting. Another example, because I never did all things that I can speak about. It's only experience, and I am not a theory. The theory I can make a theory after the experience. But for example, a concrete experience of this idea of what is an image, what the quality of an image can be, and it's not in the definition. I will show you a part of Le Livre d'Images. I hope I still have opened here. Yes. I hope you will have the sound. I'm not sure, but we will see. It's just at the end of the Le Livre d'Images. It's his last film. It was finished in 2018. It starts too quickly. At the end of the film, there is a small part where Anne-Marie Biéville, his wife, speak a little quotation about from Elias Canetti, and it's about the earth, and that there is no more here that can hear the earth. There is two things very interesting there for me. First, you see the change of format. It's because the reason is because Jean-Luc edits on tapes, on videotapes, and he got his monitor. It's a TV, classic TV, which had the settings in automatic scale for 16:9 or 4:3. Has is automatic. Sometimes when he begins to understand that it's 4:3, and then during the image come, the monitor change his mind and say, no, it's 16:9, and then change his format. So the change comes like that in his edit, on his monitor, not in the edit that he did, but on the monitor. And then he edit with the sound. He put the sound after the image, and it's interesting because the monitor makes a change of format when Anne-Marie says twice la terre, second time. I'll show you again. You have the sound, right? You don't have the sound of the film. Wait. Well, I cannot say, I don't know how to show you the sound. Well, there is a moment with the words when she say, yep, it's like it make a synchro, but okay, you don't have the sound of the film. But it was interesting, but the image is small and then become full screen. And other thing, you see, it's like very low definition with the red, and Jean-Luc pushed the colors with his machine, video machine. But what I have always when I see this image in the film, it was not anymore an image of how do you say la plage, a beach in Tunisia. It's an image like of humanity in the edge of the earth. Or, I don't know. I project all I have in my mind, and I see like humanity playing with a ball, like a football or a soccer, but just it's like painting. and it have a lot of comment say metaphor. It's an image that bring a lot, and you see, yes, these people like a little naked with being on the beach, but you can push all your imagination on it. And I will show you the original file, because when Jean-Luc gave me the edit, he edit on tapes, and I need to make all the confirmation. I don't know, the confirmation to put all the images and to take the source high definition and to make the good print, you know, for a cinema or a festival. So when I arrive at that moment, I say, okay, I will retake the original footage. Other example, I will try to do it better now. First, I will show you the original file and show you what did Jean-Luc. It's the beginning of the same film, Le Livre d'Images, second chapter, the beginning. He take a little piece of War and Peace. It's a Russian film from Bondarchuk, and it's this part. Well, it's a very, very nice shot. You see it, it's okay. It's real in the art of cinematography. You can see it's one of the best, because there is a long movement. It's in large format, with all the props, the lights, costumes, well. And Jean-Luc used this image to make it's very interesting how he transformed the image just with making painting with. So he changed. I don't know exactly. For example, this image, it's his work on the videotapes that he did. I cannot try to redo the same thing with computers. He did it with video signal, with a small machine that he gets, possible with change the chroma and maybe playing with the cables to stop the video signal, that the image at the end go away. So this is it's also making images, so just to open the mind. But there is no rules for making cinema, I would say. Same thing to make the 3D when we did the work on a 3D film. The only thing that I had in my mind was we need to be true. In fact, if you want to be true, to express what really you want, and you don't need the definition, it don't need the high sensitivity or everything on the camera. It just need to be near what you have in your mind or in your heart. And in another way, for the 3D, when we try to begin to work with the 3D, it was first 6 months of work. It was just 6 months of full freedom try to understand what is the 3D. And after some moments, Jean-Luc said, "No, we will have to buy a professional camera, because if you have you have a good tools to make your image with a good camera." Though we brought not a semi-professional, it was 20,000 euro camera, Panasonic, a full 3D, complete in one box. It was the first one, I think, or kind of the first one. And I begin with this camera, same thing, to make the try, to see what in the quality. And then it was nothing in the quality. The deepness was not very interesting. There was not so, we could imagine the film in 2D, making the film with this 3D camera, because the 3D was not a lot of, bring nothing incredible, just a little a pale idea. I tried to push this camera in the bed, way nothing. Even in the default, this camera had nothing. So I began to say, what is 3D? Just always beginning to the origin. What is 3D? It's just two image. It's like stereo. It's two sound. So it's two image. So it's two camera. So I just take two camera. And the smallest camera that I had was this kind of small camera. It was in 2012. So it was the beginning of the iPhones. But just at that time, there was some cameras that you can bring just for having with you, filming with you in your handbag. You can have a small camera, and this small camera, donc there is two camera there. This one is called Flip Mino, and Jean-Paul Battaglia, because I make all the work on the techniques on the films with Jean-Luc, and there is another guy coming from Paris who organized more the production with Jean-Paul Battaglia. And it was interesting because as there was two camera, I can easily make a separation of the two image, because there was, after I built this aluminum stuff, but first I was just handing the camera in my hand like that. And I make some tests, filming a couple of friends and asking the guy to go to the kitchen, and I make like that with the, it's like, it's a little like the bread of Chaplin, to go in the kitchen, and though I make a panoramic on one camera, then he come back, and then he go to the balcony, so I make like that, and then like that, and then I edit. And then it was very interesting, because when you begin to see the film, the image, you have the couple, and they are in 3D, quite normal. And then when you have one eyes on the girl and the other eyes following the guy. So you have two images, one image on her eyes and the other image on the other eyes. So it makes your brain don't know exactly where to go. And it was, and it's like, it hurt a little, and it's very strange, because at the moment the two images are mixing in your mind, because if you concentrate on one, you see it's more on the other. And when the guy come near the other, when I bring, and then again the couple are together, and then again the 3D effect. So it was interesting. This effect could only exist in 3D. This is the same camera, but in the image, in the shots during the film that we did with Jean-Luc. Adieu au langage and goodbye to language. But it's a 2D version just to show where the two images are mixed. So at the beginning of the image, the two cameras are on the man and the woman, and now one of the camera follow just with time, go to film the woman with his husband, in fact his husband. So this is a 2D idea of the 3D effect, but here it's playful, it's not hurt you, it's like it's like easy, but it's just a way of showing. Imagine that you can have the same effect. It's like the thinking of the man with the book, and the image is the same in the same shot, but it's not in the same shot in the 3D. It's in your brain. It's in yourself. It's not an image. It's two images. Still two images. And then again, the 3D classic. Or you don't have the sound. Or I cut. Yes, that's a nice thing. So okay, working with Godard, it's freedom, because it was sad, but it was a landscape of freedom that you can. I could, imagine what I want, and bring him. Oh, but we can do like that. Yeah, I try this, I try that. And for the last film that we don't do, but I brought some 35mm camera, 16 camera, Super 8 camera, and we wanted to begin to put my hand in this re-going in the analog film, although in the 35 print, and thinking the same thing. If we have to do in 35, it's sad if it's look like high definition. We need to feel that it's 35 or 16 or 8. And one only way to do it, it's, for example, I wanted to try, but it's more expensive than 35, but just to slow down the frame rate. I just brought an ARRI 235 camera, so it is possible to slow down the frame rate to 1 frame per second. Well, it was interesting to go from photography, because it's photogram, with the obturators that make slow, so it makes like a movement, slow movement, until 25 images per second, to go from photo to cinema in one shot. So this kind of idea that I wanted to do. Yes, coming from La Jetée, Chris Marker, until cinema, and it's very interesting to yes, but the test was fine. I still have to do this test, but Jean-Luc is not anymore here for the film. But the idea of, if I can say something about what was the name of this masterclass?
Oh,
Liberating Cinema.
The art of cinematography, in a way.
No, it was right. Liberating Cinema. No?
Oh, Liberating Cinema. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Freedom Cinema. No, it means like that. Libérer le cinéma. Ben voilà. With Jean-Luc, I don't learn anything with Jean. I learn by myself. He never teach something, but he let things free, and it was so wonderful to be free. And I think we have to try to continue to be free.
What I really like is that you connected with painting, but then you also connected with photography and cinema and this transition. And then in particular, what's so wonderful is that you're able to do 3D and embrace, in a way, all this new technology, but to turn it upside down in terms of what we usually expect from it. and also to put your hands in a way, as you were saying with your new film, into 35, 16, 8, Super 8. It just sounds like, you know, your archaeologist digging through. So it's very wonderful
Yeah.
process. It's kind of alive. And that's, you know, it's very, there's a lot of movement rather than stasis, and that's beautiful. I'm just interested in terms of your own work. Perhaps you could touch a little bit before we open up for questions about your own work, because you did also some short films yourself, and I'm just interested if you have any intentions to make feature films now, or what kind of what's next. I'm interested. Most recently, I did touch upon that you did this film with Godard and Golistan, so perhaps that's another question, but it's perhaps part of the same.
Oh yeah, the film Vendredi Robinson, See You Friday, Robinson from Golistan. It's a film of Mitra Farhani, and she proposed this, and as I was with Jean-Luc, it was like easiest or normal that I was a cinematographer for the Godard's part, because I am in the house somehow. So it's and for Jean-Luc it was also like a condition. Okay, but Fabrice can make the image here, and so it's just in the continuum of our life. In fact, apart as it was not filming for him, it was filming for another thing. But most of the image was made alone. Jean-Luc alone without Mitra. Only the 2 or 3 image Mitra come to make like a direction. For example, when he make he clean he clean in his kitchen. He clean or he put all the his how do you say, shirts and so on. There is an image that was an idea of Mitra. And the last shot when he drinks red wine, because Jean-Luc don't have any red wine in his home, though it was just a direction of Mitra. No, so it was easy. And then editing, it's just making films in the editing. So when someone proposed me to edit, I'm yes, please, because it's the most playful to do with images, and the editing is like the normal way of after making images is to edit them. I think it's like because you can finishing your work as a cinematographer when you edit them. In fact, because you it's like a painter. Okay, make his painting, but you need to, I don't know. It's like it's for me. It's the same energy. So for my film, yes, I have a project for years. I will doing next year called Le Lac, the lake, and it's a feature film. And it's also about images, because the story is about a couple in the middle age, more not middle age, it's now, but it's in the 50. They have 50, 52, and they threw themselves in a sail. How do you say? Cruise? No, not cruise. It's a sail. Course race, a sail race on the lake, but it's a pretext. They just want to throw themselves in the real, in the colors, in the feelings, in the feeling in the bee. And for example, you cannot escape of a lake. You cannot, but you cannot escape of your life too. We cannot escape of our earth. We cannot escape everything. The only way to escape is by the thinking, or by the feelings, or by the like in poetry or like in painting. You can escape only by the colors, or the lights. And on the lake, you are jumping inside the painting. All the painter makes a painting around the lake, for example. Courbet, Turner come to also make some images on the lake. Monet, but here this man and this woman want to go inside the painting just to feel, just to feel alive. So it's not a very spoken film. It's and there will be a lot of sound too, because the image of sound is the sound of images. And it's with Clotilde Courreau, which is she's a famous French actress, and the man is a sailor, Bernard Stan, a Swiss sailor who made a lot of race around the world alone or in a big sailboat. He's the body. He's in the truth, in the real. It's a film between fiction and documentary, but it's a free film, liberating to cinema.
Thank you so much, Fabrice, for that talk. It was fantastic, and it just really kind of illuminating on the kind of playful element of, you know, kind of working and experimenting with technology and just seeing what it can do. I had a couple of questions, really. I mean, a few years ago, I remember I saw a film by you, which I think was called Le Lac in Croatia, and it was basically a found footage film. Was it in Croatia? I think it was. Anyway, it was about a 20 minute kind of found footage film, and so I kind of wondered whether that had a connection to your new project.
Yeah, I don't know, because I made some, because when I don't have time and money to make my own images, I take found footage just to continue making editing. And I make a film, but it was more at the beginning. It was an installation called L'Invisible, the invisible, and it was about the lake, but all the painter and all the artists that paint the lake, painter or cinematographer or filmmaker, and in the most of the case, only filmmaker that make images with the lake is Jean-Luc Godard. So it was a found footage edit on the lake, but from the side of the lake, not inside the lake, from the board, from the, how you say, the la rive, from the side of the lake, not
the shore. Yeah,
the shore. Yes,
yeah.
The shore. At the shore of time, there is a nice poem about time from shore of time, about Lamartine. There's a nice poem of Lamartine, sur les rives du temps, the shore of time. I remember this. And then when I make this film, and first of a film, it was an installation, and this installation was in a museum near Courbet painting, near Turner painting on the lake, and there was this installation. And at that time, I said, okay, I want to go inside, to go in the painting, making a film inside the painting. And at that time, I had the idea of making something on the lake. And then I make some tests. And then I make another short film called Lakeside Suite, which is just few tests of images on the lake during winter, during summer, during thunder, you know, with a or calm, or a sun, or a night. And it's a 17 minutes short film, but very free. I did it for Rotterdam in 2019. But now I have some money, so I go with my actors and non-actors, with my actress and sailor, to go to film a little here on this lake. And as I'm free, it won't be only this lake. I can maybe adjust few lakes, because it's not, when I see this lake, it's a Léman Lake, Geneva Lake, but I want to mix different lakes, because it's an idea. Lakes it's an idea. And it's night because when you are by night, all the lights are outside and you are in the shadow. So you are already extracting yourself of the life because you are in the shadow, no one see you, and you see everyone. And if you are both together with some, well, it's,
and was that also related to the installation that I remember seeing at the Théâtre des Amandiers? There was a kind of that.
You were there, yeah.
Well, I was there, and it was
already,
kind of projected on all the walls, but very different, with deck chairs and much more immersive.
Yeah. It's like when someone proposed me to do something, I jumped myself in the way of, okay, I will try to do something with just to help your mind arrive. Sorry for my English. I speak like yes, making an installation, it's a way of, and it was with some random algorithm that I built. So it's editing and try to, and letting the machine propose you some kind of things. The moon arrive in that kind or some other kind of movement. So it's like a laboratory of ideas. And people wanted this and they were quite happy, I think. So me too. Jean-Luc say it's ça remue la salade. It's you say ça remue la salade. Insalata, when you have to when your sauce in the salad needs to be, ça remue la salade.
Well, you're mixing the salad, yeah.
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 No, it makes your thinking, it's a child play.
Could I just ask one other thing, which is about, you were just saying something about the analog film with Super 8 and 35 millimeter, and I'd just be fascinated to hear a little bit more about what that was going to be about. But then also, I think there was a second project called Scenario, and I just kind of wonder to how far that progressed. And
well, for the 35 and 8, no, sadly I just brought the material, some of box of black and white 35, because it was his idea was black and white in 35 millimeters and color in 16 and Super 8. So it's already, normally we can say, maybe Super 8 or 16 can be in black and white and 35 color. No. He's au contraire, at the contrary, Jean-Luc Godard. No, I made just a few tests and then he said, no. And I brought all the camera and the lens and all stuff. And arrives COVID, the 2020. And then, okay, so we make a big break to everything, to Jean-Luc too. And after the break, in summer, he said yes. It was hard to think about making some tests with him, with some actress or actors. Well, it make like he slowed down all his mind about making a film in 35 and 16:8, and even his script become more. He go forward in the script and go in more. How do you say? Concentrate format. And in 2021, yeah, somehow it finished like that. For the 35, I always say, but we can make some tests. I was always bringing to him the camera so that he can see this frame rate change. I brought the remote that you can program a slowdown from 25 image per second to 1. And I made some tests with this, but I cannot force him to do it. So he say, yes, later, yes, later. Then in 2021, I went to the Venice Biennale. I was there for 3 months for the architecture Biennale where I was working on. So the material still is in my studio, and that's it. And the other project called Scenario, no, and we make some film, but without shooting for the project of initially made in 35 and 16 and your project, all the projects called Scenario, there was a lot of scenario, and it's kind of very interesting because scenario, which means script, he made a very nice work in script, but in it's like painting on papers. It's like editing on papers, and it's finished. He passed away before transforming this into films. There is some way to do it, but scenario mainly is because I cannot speak a lot because for the first project, not scenario, the other one, there will be there will be presented in a few months, but I cannot say a lot before. And on the other, and on this is first, even in the without making images, without filming, he makes cinema. Just on his wood table with some pen and papers, he make edit. He'd say, okay, this image 10 seconds, this image 20 seconds, this image 5 seconds, and it's editing. It's cinema. It's time. And when you see the thing, it bring you. It's a thinking. It brings you thinking. It creates you thinking when you see it. It makes cinema, but with a very, very simple way, just on his table with okay, this 10 seconds, this 20 seconds, this 5 seconds. Without the machine of editing, without video anymore, just you will see. Now I cannot speak a lot about it, but I think it will be. I hope that people could be seeing this because it was not our production. It's a command.
What I'd like to ask you about is when you had the two cameras when you were filming the couple and the guy going into the kitchen, and then were you also breaking the 3D, I guess, because you first started with making 3D, making the image in 3D, and then when you turned one of the cameras to follow the guy, what happened? How does that look when you break 3D in that sense?
It broke. It hurt because your brain, our brain, try always to reconnect the two images. It's when you close them together horizontally like that, you can do like that, with the eyes. We can do like that. So where it's very difficult is to do like that because we don't have the muscle to move our eyes up and down in a separate way. We just can do it horizontally. But though if I do like that with one of the two cameras, your eyes try to follow. So it hurts you because it's like ecarting your. But at a point you cannot anymore. So you are. It's the same example if you make like you watch something here and something there. So yes, it breaks the deepness, but it don't break the two image. This is an experience also in film socialism. It was the first film in high definition made by Jean-Luc, and I filmed with the Canon 5D on the sea, and it was high definition. And people say, wow, the definition that you had in this film. But I think it's interesting because in between the image on the lake, on the sea, with waves filmed in high definition, there was images filmed with like a small iPhone in 200, 300 pixel, very. So the contrast was, wow, you begin from an image with very few pixels, with a lot of color also, and then you have the sea complete with all the definition of the wave. So the contrast makes like, wow, it's definition, and then it's painting. I don't know. It's you have to express, to experiment. The thing it's good. The problem of the 35, 16 or 16 is okay. 8 it's also okay, but it's a cost. And in my studio, I have a projector, so I can edit on big image, on big screen. It's not. I have a good video projector. The other are low in quality, but it's good to have the. And another thing that I learned with Jean-Luc, I see, for example, his machine. He don't edit with the machine in between the image and him. He works like that. The image is there, big. The machine here. He edit, play, and he has nothing between the image and him. He's maybe just a mixing table, but he's in front of the image. And then he make the change for the edit, play, and then he has it's not like on a computer as most of the time we are with all this interface between the image and us. He was easily put his machine here and the image is here with the loudspeaker, and you are in the cinema.
Thank you really for doing this and for agreeing to do the masterclass and sharing with us the art of cinematography, and also speaking about réalisateur and saying that it is not, you are none of these, yet you are all of these in a very wonderful way. So
it's a way of make me free to do it.
Yes.
But in fact, there is a very few projects that ask me to do the image or make the sound. Very like, I think no one. In fact, so I make. It's not very. I say for people who are only cinematographer, you are completely cinematographer. Following what I said is not. It's maybe not a good way to have jobs, because I can do the image because I'm nothing. No producer will ask you to come to make the image for yourself. but for me, it's the only way to do it, just to be more close of what I am, and I'm not behind. How do you say la casquette? La casquette. What's its expression in French? Yeah, the hat. But in French, we say the hat as a casquette, cinematographer. No. Right.
You have different caps.
Yeah, yes. I have no caps, in fact. That's it. It's easier to say I have no caps. No, but really, and to write, to begin, I think about writing, and I think that, okay, I have to, it free me to say that I'm not a writer, so I can write. Because if not, I will say, I have to do it well, I have to do it as I did, as the other did. And then it slow me down, it cut my hands. So I need to say, okay, and to make tests. For this, I always say, make tests, try the things, because it's easy to try. It's not the finished stuff. It's just a test. But maybe the test is more interesting than whatever. No? And living is a test too.